out there, not only play it as a practice course, but coach could also use this as a qualifying course for his student athletes as well. So there's just a lot of different things we could do here. What our plan is right now, this location is at off Goshen Road at 146, exit 146, which is currently, or was, the White Day Golf Course for a number of years. We are currently in a lease to purchase that land as we speak. It's approximately 95 acres of land. This would not utilize the entire, some of that is wooded area. This would not utilize all of the vacant land that we have, and we'll look at future there. But this is looking at the bridge. This is that overview looking back towards the hillside. And then this area right here is the team lounge and locker room area that would be overlooking the entire practice facility course.
So
this is the training room. I'd like to show you the video of what we've already done.
This is another step in the direction to help our capital we can new facilities, make our program grow in the right direction, and have the vision to be competed at every sport, not only in the Big 12 conference, but nationally.
Before I turn it over to questions, I do want to emphasize these are not wants. These are needs. These are needs for our student athletes. These are needs for our department to continue to grow as a program and move forward. We picked the tagline of climbing higher, and that's what we're going to do. That's what we stress to our coaches. That's what we stress to our student athletes. Give more and more each and every day. We have a program here. We have people in the state of West Virginia that we're proud of our athletic programs as we continue to grow and climb higher. The support that we need, as I mentioned earlier, I realize this is aggressive, but I also realize we have some extraordinary people in Mountaineer Nation that support our university, that support our athletics program, and this is something that we need to do to move forward and have our programs be on the national level. So with that, I will open it up for questions.
Shane, perception on the drawings, but the Pushkar Center looked like it had a different second floor. Is it just going to be on the same footprint, same level, or is it going to go higher?
It's on the same footprint. So it's obviously you have the first and second level. The first level is the locker rooms, the weight room, all that was in the training room, which you just saw, is still on the first level. Second level is still all the same. Some expanded out in the Hall of Fame area. That would be a new section of that building, but it's still only 2 levels.
You said spread over 5 years is your goal. Priorities, order of projects?
Order of projects is really the funding as it comes in. We can do multiple projects at any given time. So obviously we can be doing things of football, we can be doing things at the apron and the Coliseum complex at the same time. So depends, at the wishes of the donors and then the money that comes in to say, I want this money to go to this specific area. We will look at that and see where that falls within the construction phase and what we can do. Everything really, other than the Pushkar Center, can be done without the phasing. Obviously the weight room is a phasing project for the Olympic sport weight room because we have to wait until swimming gets out, which would be September of 19. Track it will be finished here in 19, and track will be done in September of 18. So that is, the look at that. But everything else, we're going to be aggressive with it and move forward as fast as we can.
Separate fundraising efforts for each one of these? separate targeted things by the MAC and the foundation?
Yeah, I think it's targeted. I think it's a matter, the MAC has already been going out talking about this and what opportunities we have. So we will, look at for their assistance as we move forward with this and the needs and wants of our donors, and making sure that, we look at it. It's all needed. So it's a matter of moving forward with that. Obviously, I think the most important is upgrading the football and the push car center. If you look nationally of what's happening out there, we're getting way behind. In the league, just to be completely candid, our facilities in the league is probably 10th in the league from a football standpoint, from an operations center. For those of you who travel, they've seen it, you know what we're competing against. So no one wants to be last. And as your director of athletics, I don't want to be last. Football's competing at a very, very high level. We need to keep them competing at a high level. Men's basketball, women's basketball continue to compete at a high level. I think women's soccer, and I use that as an examples. Those teams are competing at a high level. My own opinion, one of the reasons why is some of the facilities they have to be able to recruit to. So I think some of the success that you have is a result of what you can recruit to, and we need all of our sports across the board to have that opportunity.
Shane, have you compared it with your regional universities to see? Because I imagine a lot of the kids that you recruit are from this area, not that area.
Right.
Have you looked at that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at it, you go to Virginia Tech, you go to Maryland, you go to Penn State, you go to Ohio State, Kentucky. You keep on looking at what we're recruiting against. Obviously, Coach is going a lot into North Carolina. We'll have an opportunity to see NC State this year. I was there. You've seen Wake Forest. I mean, the opportunities that I've had in my professional career, being in the ACC for 10 years, I saw what was happening there. I've seen what's happened in the Big 12. I've seen what's happened in the SEC. Seen some things that's happened in the Big 10 conference. So, it's, if you want to call it an arms race, I think we can call it that. We're not doing anything exorbitant. We're just making sure what we have. The best analogy I've given is updating our wardrobe. Our wardrobe's 20 years old. We need some new shoes and we need some new suits. So we're updating our wardrobe. We're not actually, tearing down walls and completely building more buildings. We're taking what we have and making it better.
Shane, seating in the Coliseum, some of the new seats are bigger. Will you lose any capacity?
Our goal is not to lose any capacity. We've had some preliminary talks with the seatings company, and it should be a one-for-one exchange as part of that. Again, looking at the Coliseum, it's approaching 50 years old. We've never touched the interior bowl in 50 years. So, the seating, needs to be looked at. The lighting is, we did do the lights a number of years ago, but we're kind of on the tail end of that. The lighting has to change a little bit. And then we need to look at premium lounge areas and different things for our donors, and potentially look at the seating also, doing loge seating in the Coliseum.
Shane, have you ever looked at the top of this building? I mean, structurally, how is it holding up?
I hope okay. I'm working here every day, so I hope it's pretty strong.
Been here a long time.
What's interesting, I talked about the overruns on the construction of the first phase, but I will tell you, this building's completely sound. There's not a problem with it. But as we dug into this building with the renovations on the concourse, I will tell you, we were surprised that there were some beams that were not there, that we had to order new beams and reinforce some of the things that we currently had, which resulted in unexpected cost and overruns. So, this is probably the most iconic building in the state of West Virginia, maybe second to the Capitol, but maybe first. There's nothing like this building when you come up over top of the hill on 79 and see it lit up at night. That's part of the apron, as well as the lighting on this building. But to put new lighting, LED lighting on the building, which we'd be able to change it, would be pretty cool. Game nights, we can turn it blue and gold, and cancer gala events, we can turn it pink. We can do green and blue don't mention green a whole lot in here, but green and blue at Christmas time. So a lot of different things, but this is the most iconic building. You know, from the university standpoint, you know, my vision to have a more uniform look is when you drive into Morgantown, most people are coming in off of exit 155, and this is the first thing that you see as a university. And to make this more aesthetically pleasing and looking at is my goal.
Increased parking, how many slots do you currently have? 500 new spaces at the old track, what will that increase your total to?
You know, I wish I had that number. I don't have it. Fans will tell you it's not enough. You know, we have a lot compared to a lot of other places. We have a lot of parking. We need more. It'll come out. It just, I mean, they're doing some work on Monongalia Boulevard, putting a sidewalk on the, get my directions, on the far side, away from the Coliseum, so that will take away some of the street parking that we've currently had. They did add new parking down at the crossings, which is less than a 5-minute walk. So, you know, that's been open for the last couple of years. We have changed the traffic patterns leaving the Coliseum of having 3 different exits. I'll tell you that's worked out remarkably well. We can clear this lot in 35, 40 minutes at max, getting people back to the interstate, getting people downtown or heading towards Cheat Lake. So, you know, we have work to do, but we do need additional parking, and this will give us the opportunity to expand that area.
The current RFP that was released a couple months ago for the Coliseum, is that the first part of this, the design?
Yeah, for this
oversight?
building, that was the first step. The RFP was going out for the video board to make sure what that would look like, and we're starting to work through that process to, you know, get ahead of the game, you know, from a funding standpoint, to say this is the look that we want to have, the lighting. You know, again, there's kind of a phased in, you know, you have to do all those at the same time to make sure it works. So yes, all that kind of goes hand in hand.
You said 5 years for the whole all projects, but and for football, I mean, that's the big ticket item. So do you have a vision of a timeline for that? That's
Probably the most aggressive of 5 years. We need and want to do something after every season. So after this season,